What's happening, captains? Welcome to Axe to Grind. These are the Ernie Ball Slinky Cobalts, and this is an entirely selfish review. I love these strings. I love the way they feel. I love the way that they sound. I love the way that they make me feel about myself, but they are just stupidly difficult to find in stores. Now, admittedly, this might not be the case for the rest of you overseas, where you just pop down to your local guitar store and suddenly there's this wall of 50 gajillion guitar strings to choose from. Some kind of string sommelier comes out and he recommends the most weird and wonderful craft strings from tiny little independent companies that are wound by hand by blind nuns, and you slap them on your guitar and suddenly you sound like some kind of amazing guitar superstar, like it's a pick of destiny or something. Yeah, I'm looking at you, America. I have to order these from Sydney, and when they're sold out, which is like almost always, Amazon Australia ships them from America. But here in Melbourne, in the city, there are 4 guitars. Actually, I suppose there's just 3 now. There are 3 guitar stores. Well, even when there were 4 guitar stores, none of them stock these. So this review is to showcase just how fantastic these strings are, and hopefully the more people that play them, easier it'll be for me to find them. So Cobalt. According to Ernie Ball, these provide an extended dynamic range with incredible harmonic response, increased low end, crisp, clear highs, which is just a fancy way of saying it's got more bass, more treble, and less mid. They achieve this because Cobalt is apparently more magnetic than any other alloy previously available. I mean, just look at those graphs. Would those graphs lie to you? Ernie Ball doesn't think so, and neither do I. Another byproduct of the stronger magnetic field is that these strings are louder than standard strings. And this might be the part of the video where you expect me to do a side-by-side comparison of the Cobalts versus some other kind of strings, but I can tell you right now, that's not gonna happen. This is the first set of bass strings I've ordered in over a year, and you think I'm just gonna pop them right off to put another set on? I'm not made of money. Leave me alone. I can't really tell you if it's louder per se, but they are loud. I mean, it's an active pickup, but it's like super duper recessed into there. And they do have that super scooped out mid sound that I just crave. Some examples of this would probably be Roger Lima from Less Than Jake. Or Dan Andriano from Alkaline Trio. Oh, I love these strings. Or even this classic intro from The Offspring. Not my favorite album of theirs, but it was a fantastic way to kick it off. Granted, I don't think any of those players actually use these strings, but they have access to like some of the best gear in the entire world, and I don't even have an amp. So to be able to get close to like that punchy, slightly overdriven kind of sound with just by slapping on a new set of strings is like just awesome. But what if you don't play punk rock? Say you don't even use a pick at all. Maybe you play with your fingers like some kind of madman. What would that sound like? I don't know. Let's find out together. That sounds pretty nice. What if I roll back the treble more? Because, you know, we're playing with our fingers, right? It's supposed to be like a little bit rolled back. Sounds nice. Let's see if I still know how to play this one. Oh, my technique is terrible, and I probably shouldn't be busting out songs that I haven't played in like a year during a review. But you know, I never play with my fingers, and this sounds good. I need to get my speed up. Speed fingers. What about chords? Oop. Still got that treble roll back. Try that again. Oh. That sounds good. Slap? Thought my comfort zone was bad with fingers. Let's try some slap, shall we? Sounds good, but obviously, I mean, it would because you've got the increased treble and bass in there, so you don't want those mids for slap, I guess. I'm not a big slap player. What about if we make those trebles a little bit more trebly? Oh, and then you kick back the bass even more? Tasty. Oh, what about, what is it? Starts here, right? It's been a while since I played that one too. I'm busting out all these classics that I never play because I like these strings, they just bring it out at you. Not the right time to be doing this though. Pops like popcorn. If that's a good thing. I have no idea. That's a good thing, it's a good thing. Civil disobedience. How about some civil disobedience? Oh, look at that, sun's coming in to ruin my shot and everything. All right. So yeah, these strings can do slap. What about some psychobilly slap? Truth be told though, they will sound better for psychobilly once they've aged a little bit more, because when they're really fresh, the treble really just cuts through, and you know, upright basses don't really have a whole lot of that, even when you're slapping the shit out of them. So just how long does this bell-like chime last? Well, it's kind of hard to say, because it depends on a lot of factors, like how sweaty you are, how often you play. My friend Huey's got like acid hands. Back when phones actually had buttons, no one could actually use his phone because like after a month, all the buttons were just blank. I think he changed his strings quite a bit. But acid hands aside, if you have a look at my bass cover playlist, which is going to be somewhere around here, I don't even really know how to do it yet, but I'm sure I'll figure it out by the time that you're watching this. I put on a new set of Cobalts just before I did that very first Less Than Jake cover, which I think was on like the 23rd of October. And all bass covers that have been done with this bass since then have been done with that exact same set of strings. So you can listen to how the strings degrade over time. Neat, huh? It's not exactly super accurate though, because I do EQ my tracks to try and bring back some of that treble that they've lost. However, through the magic of motion pictures, here's what those same strings sound like. October. Oh my god, 18 months later. Sweet bejeebus, I need to start changing my strings more often. My old strings? No way! Are you suitably impressed? All right, moving on. So as you can tell, they've lost a lot of their sparkle, but hey, after a year and a half, so have I. Lucky for us, we know a way of making them sound like new, don't we? You didn't watch my Dr. Worm cover, did you? Go watch it after this. I'm not explaining it again. Alright, so this is what they sound like a year and a half old, but slapped back into freshness. Now let's compare, shall we? So yeah, it's not like 100% new, but I mean, you have to admit that if you were in a pinch, like you were about to go on stage or something, you broke a string on your regular bass, you only had your backup bass, but the strings on that are like a year and a half old and, you know, gonna start talking soon. This would work, and it would actually work pretty well. Honestly, after a year and a half, I think that all the strings still sound pretty good, except for this E. Oh, this new E has just got so much more oomph. I have no idea how to describe sounds. To me, like the old one sounds woody and hollow. Like, I don't know if that's not a good way to describe sound. Woody and hollow? I don't know. In my head, that's what it is. It's woody and hollow, whereas this one's just like... It's got much more treble, obviously, and it's got a lot more presence, it's got a lot more everything. And that's pretty much the reason why I purchased new strings after having such a good long-term relationship with my old ones. Other than fading too quickly, the only other complaint I have heard about these bad boys is that they break too easily. Now, I haven't broken a bass string in over a decade, and that string was already on the bass that I bought from a pawn shop on a beach, so I have no idea how old it was, what kind of condition it was, or what brand string it was. But I do slap this thing pretty hard when I play psychobilly music, and I have never once had a string slap me back. Just trying to tempt a little fate there. See? No slapping. These are the 40 to 95s though. I have juvenile arthritis, although I turned 33 this year, so I suppose now it's just regular arthritis. But I play really light gauges of everything. Maybe the 50 to 105s or the 55 to 110s break a little bit easier because of the extra tension that they're under. But according to Wikipedia, the biggest benefit of cobalt alloys is their incredible strength, especially cobalt chromium. These aren't cobalt chromium though. These are like a cobalt and iron alloy. I don't know, seems pretty tough. I'm not gonna lift it up by the strings to find out. Seems tough. So, how much are they? Kind of a pointless question because you're all going to be watching this from all over the world, I suppose, and prices are going to vary wildly, but I get mine from Belfield Music, and I pay 49 Australian dollars and 99 Australian cents. A little bit frustrating because your shipping is free if you're $50 or over, so I usually just tag on some guitar strings for like an extra 10 bucks. Basically means you get free guitar strings. And then it is actually a very good price for these strings here because like I said, very hard to find in stores, and when you do find them in stores, they're usually like 65 bucks. Average. But if you are in Australia and you're planning on ordering from Belfield, just use the little chat thing on their website, ask if they've got them in stock first, because there's a good chance that the answer is no. At least that's what it's been for me the last 2 times I've tried to order these strings, but they do actually get them in really quickly when you ask, which is pretty cool. I have tried the electric guitar version of the Cobalt strings. Gotta say I was not a fan, way too trebly, way too bright on the 6 string. Maybe you're into that, and if so, I've got the perfect strings for you. Otherwise, I hope that you have found this video helpful. You know, go out to your local, ask them to stock them if they don't already, and let's get these strings out there, yeah! This video was something a little bit different to the covers that I usually do. If you liked it, let me know, and maybe we'll do some more review videos. And if you didn't like the video, let me know that too. And if you're just some douchebag that's looking to drive traffic to his own channel about how to gain subscribers and get more video views, leave a douchey comment that's like, amazing content, bro. Screw you, Tom. See ya.